Rym Slim, thank you so much for joining me to talk all about you and your art. It's an absolute honor. So thank you for joining me.
Nah, man, it's like the honor's mine, innit? It's like nice of you to ask me to come on board. I know we've tried, I think, one other time, but it's just
We've
didn't work
been
out and finally it did.
we've been trying a lot, but yeah, it has finally
Yeah.
worked
Yeah.
out. And it's going to be a special chat because, yeah, on the screen now, if you are watching this on YouTube, you are in for a treat because Rym Slim is going to share some of his artwork, but also at the same time, because he is so multi-talented, he's going to
Uh,
doodle
too kind, too kind.
A Superman as well. And yeah, but whilst talking about your passions and your talent for art, because that is how I got to know you over the years. It is seeing your artwork on Twitter. So if you could feel free to draw or doodle away and share your origin story, as it were. Where did it all begin for you?
Origin, I don't know. It's like since obviously we all have been drawing since we were kids, right? Every one of us in it, and I guess with me it just like stayed, especially after I think I want to say like Max Fleischer, I think I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Max Fleischer cartoon, the
Oh yeah,
short.
no, yeah, that classic Superman stuff, which is still
Yeah,
still
so,
holds up today. They are incredible
but
cartoons.
exactly. So you can see some of the gifs, or you see even some of the YouTube clips, and you're like, yo, these are like way too good. Like they're so ahead of their time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Plus about animation, isn't it? It's just like some of them are so timeless. Like
Mm.
doesn't matter when you see it or whatever. It's just like wow. Like especially the one where he's like having that electricity run through him. I
Yeah,
just feel
that's
like
that
they did
classic one
that
where he's
back
there with
then.
whole, yeah. It's fantastic, fantastic artwork, and a lot of them have been remastered. And I think to be given the chance to see those animations on a cinema screen would be incredible. But right now, I'm happy seeing
Oh,
those on
that would be so amazing.
as
No,
many
yeah, I
screens
agree.
as I can because they are fantastic cartoons. But you're drawing some shapes here, and this.
It, trying to like figure out, it's like how everyone goes to trying to first figure out where where you want to start from, like, plus like what kind of pose was for, if it's the pose is working or not. So just
But
trying
this
to
is
get
this is what
something
I
sorted.
love to see. It's artwork coming alive, as it were. And yeah, I've seen your DC stuff, I've seen your Marvel stuff, I've seen the artwork that you can make so quickly. Say when a film is released or a trailer is released, or we get a first like official image of something, you will be
Yeah.
on there straight away making artwork for it, which is an
No,
incredible talent.
I have to say I have been lucky enough that I'm at the right place at the right time, as in I'm at home
Mm.
when they release these stuff. And it's just so happens I'm in front of my laptop or computer or whatever. Like, I'm about to draw something, and they did release that, and I was like, okay, cool. I've got that. I have to draw that. Like you said, like the suits or whatever it's released. I'm like, it just inspires something. The minute you see it, I'm like, okay, have to do something. I can't just let this go. I'm so in the. I just want to share how excited I am.
And that's it. And I mean, some people would sort of make an edit or they would copy and paste something or they would do a quick doodle. But then you come out and then you would just put out this incredible rendered image, and it would sometimes not, well, it would be a lot of people like to do fan theories of what they think a costume might look like, but you would do that but also include insane detail at the same time, and it is very impressive to see, especially with the time frame that you do it as well.
That's one thing. Plus, of course, yeah, that time frame thing is because I don't know. As a little kid, I was so obsessed with just it's like we all are, right? We all want to be the first to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's just that. It's just whenever I see, I'm like, okay, I want to be the first to just get this drawing done. And you know how fan artists are as well. Like majority, all literally, you can look at any artist, they're the same. It's just it's like that meme someone drew where who's the fastest, Sonic, Flash, or a fan artist, and then it's like it's
but
literally just like just trying to be the first or just be show everyone how excited we are.
but
So
that's
I'm
it.
just like,
If yeah, and like if you're not first, you're last in some situations. But you want to get that idea out there as soon as possible. You want those bragging rights of being like almost like first comment in a way. You want to
Yeah,
be that
exactly,
person
exactly,
that did
exactly.
that
But
artwork
it's,
straight away.
I think it's also that, it's like an itch where I'm like, oh no, it's like, you really want to draw it. Or
Mm,
even if you're, like you said, you're first, or sometimes even if you're last, it's like, oh, I'm the last to do something. It's cool. I'm just like, I just want to show how excited I am
good.
about whatever it is that's releasing. Because it's like, we're literally, like, I think Kibla said it so many times. You probably said it as well. Everyone's right. Where we live in this golden age of fandom
Yeah.
where it's like,
We're
how are we so lucky to see
we
all
are
this stuff?
spoiled for choice. There's so much coming out so frequently that sometimes it's quite overwhelming to get excited for so much because there's so much going on, but yet we forget that something else is just around the corner. So yeah, it is a great time to be a geek for sure, for sure. So what you're doing here, you're doing all these different layers, yeah, because this is completely new to me.
No,
It's
it's like
this is
what's happening with me
amazing.
is that as I'm drawing something, I'm just like, yo, maybe I could do something else. Maybe I could do something else. Just a little process I
That's
go through,
fine. Just keep.
trying to.
This is seeing you like I would love to see you with a sketchbook, and you've done sketch work on Twitter before. I think you shared one of your journals where it was like a page, and you were adding more and more things to it,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
just incredible. I love seeing that progress into something else, and people giving you ideas and suggestions, and
Oh,
you
I
just
did love that one. Not gonna, yeah, that I did like doing that because, like you said, like people giving the suggestions and it
yeah.
just started clicking. Well, I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, that's a good idea because it was one of those times where sometimes you just don't know what to draw, and I think
So
it is
yeah,
nice to have, you know, get someone else's input.
and I mean yeah, and I mean it gives you not not necessarily an idea, but it pushes you to try something that maybe you wouldn't have tried before, which is great. So maybe you need to bring those suggestions back, Rym, and start doing some more, mate. Because I'm on the phone right now looking at some of your previous artwork that we will talk about in a moment because I've seen it progress over the years, and you've tried new things, you've tried new art forms, and it's always impressive, but it's always underneath it, the underlying, your style is there, and that's what I love
Oh,
to
thank
see.
you,
So,
man.
where did you sort of come about that? Where did you find your own individual style?
Not gonna lie, it's that I feel like I still don't have one, but it's nice that people like, everyone, like you said it right now, where you feel like I do. But
Mm.
it's that where I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm still in that journey of trying to figure out what my style is. It's probably just me, getting into my own mind, and I'm like, you know what? You have a style, just enjoy it. Like you're finally out where you wanted to be all these
But
years.
I mean, that's the thing about being an artist. I assume is that it's you're never at the top of your game. You're always learning something new and trying something new as well. So, but I can definitely spot your art style, which is why it's happened quite a few times now when other people, and this I know this is a sensitive subject to you, but other people share your artwork and never give credit. And I know it annoys you because it annoys me when I see it happen. And it is, I mean, in a way, I suppose it would be flattering for it to happen, but when a post does really well and you get, excuse me, no recognition for it, it must be very annoying for you.
Yeah, honestly, yes. At first, like you said, you used to be like, oh, that's amazing that a lot of these people do like my work, which is like it's great. A lot of people are seeing it, but then eventually it's just like, but no one knows who did it
Yeah.
in a way, or it's just, or they take credit for it or something, right? You're like, why would you do that? So you wouldn't like it if someone else did it to you, so why can't, like, then it's the same old excuse. I found it online, like, come on, like we've got technology now where you can just reverse image, like,
Yes, exactly. Just reverse Google image that and you will find that it is somebody else's. But what really grinds my gears, as it were, is when somebody would go to the extent of removing your watermark or your logo, because
oh man,
that's dirty. That is just
that
not cool.
exactly. So I'm pretty sure that's happened to you once or twice, no?
Yeah, I mean, I now don't get me wrong. I am no artist, but I can notice a similarity between a comic or a scene or a movie, and I will put those two edits together or make a silly little meme or something, and they'll go well and they'll get shared about. But yeah, I've learned to sometimes ruin an image with a logo by putting my Geek of Steel logo across it. Because why go to the effort of like, just taking off somebody else's design and marking it off as your own? But when it comes to artwork, real artwork, like what you're creating, that when they take away your logo or put their logo over the top of it, it is a very callous and a low down, dirty move.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like you said, it's quite a dirty move. You're like, come on. It's like it doesn't take that long to like credit it. Literally, it's literally seconds, right?
And
I
that's
can't
it.
type the name, copy and paste the name. Then.
And that's it. And Google it, or But what I have been seeing more of now, though, is people jumping on them and saying, "Look, this isn't your artwork. Please give credit to the artist that did the work," which is nice to see. That is, it does give me hope that people are going to start giving you the correct recognition for it. But
Yeah, that is nice to see. Yeah, that is nice to see actually.
I like this
Exactly.
one.
It's like everyone's kind of doing that, so it's just like nice. But it's just a situation where is it because they've seen my work before where they're like, oh, I should give recognition to him now, or maybe I should support him. But because maybe an upcoming artist, they're probably gonna go through the same thing, and you don't want them to feel the same things with the
No,
way I did, where someone takes their stuff, and you're like, no, man. It's like just give credit, really.
that's it. I'm getting lost in this, what you're creating here. I like this forced perspective with this fist coming at the screen.
It's the classic Superman. I thought let me
Yeah.
do something complicated at first, but then I thought, nah, let me just stick to something simple. It'll be
See,
like easier.
this isn't complicated. This is good stuff. And that's the thing. I think, but as you said, people are noticing your art style and they're seeing it. They're saying, "Oh, this looks like so and so's artwork," and then we find out, oh, that it is. Because when you've shared some stuff and it's got some crazy retweets and likes and shares and comments. What's been one of your most popular pieces of artwork that you've created, Rym?
I'm not gonna lie, you first thing first is that you see all those little tweets and like you read the amount of times it's been reshared. I'm like, man, that would be so amazing. I could turn that into like money, where that and it could go into my account because I'm like, oh, that'd be amazing. Obviously, right? We all want that,
It'd
obviously.
be very
But
nice, yeah.
it's that it'd be so sweet. You're like, oh, I did this one thing. You got shared this many times, and that turned into currency now. Oh, sweet.
I mean, it might happen, it might happen. So, if that was the case, which post have you created that would give you the most money back?
I feel like obviously it's like I'm pretty sure everyone's seen this. Like literally everyone has seen this. Right? It's this one.
Oh, there it
Right?
is.
It's like
I
I thought it was a nice little moment in Comic Con. I think it was
Yes,
what 2015.
yeah, it was the Batman v Superman. I
Yeah,
want to say
that
New
first
York
trailer,
Comic
right?
Con, I think, or San Diego. It was a big
Yeah, I
con
think it
in
was San
America,
Diego.
but it was
Yeah.
that moment where it was like world's finest situation, and then you go and this, if I recall, you made it pretty quickly.
Oh, it was very quick. Like I said, it just happened. So it just happened that I was in front of my laptop.
Yeah,
I was about to draw something. This dropped, and I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing.
but it was just perfect. But you capture like their mannerisms perfectly, but keeping it, almost like the Justice League animated style with the shading and the colors, and I
Hmm.
absolutely adore it. But yeah, that one gets shared out a lot, and I
I
know,
think I think
uh,
I've seen that quite a few times recently as well. I'm
oh
just
yeah,
like,
and
it's
every now
getting
and
to a point
again,
where I just hate this drawing now.
no, I love it. But every now and again, it'll pop up, and you'll still get credit for it. But I think I've seen Susan Eisenberg, the voice of Wonder Woman. She shared it.
No
I
way.
think
Okay, I didn't see that one. Wow.
I
Okay.
think George Newbern commented or shared it once. But I've seen
Oh, no way.
big
Yo,
names.
that's like huge.
Yeah, see, I've seen big names share that artwork out. But now, from learning through it, you've put your artwork more noticeably on it, which is good. But
Hmm.
it's a fantastic piece. It is one that always does get shared out a lot. And
I did
yeah,
like redraw this during COVID. Like as
yeah,
in, because as you can see, there's Amy, Jesse, Gal, and Jeremy Irons at the background in it. And
yeah.
those I have always planned to go back to revisit
Oh,
it so I
mate,
can get
do
them
it.
drawn. But it's just that. since it's been shared so many times, I've
But
just been
still, though, I mean,
demotivated.
a lot
But
of people
on,
share their work again and make little changes. If you were
yeah,
able
that
to
is true.
make
That is
that
true.
with, because you've done a few other ones where you've done the
No,
whole league.
yeah, and that's the thing. I have redrawn this with the rest of the cast, but I did it in the recent, the Harley Quinn animated show style.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't think that one became as popular, which kind of okay for me because I'm like, I'm glad I shared it,
yeah.
but no one's stealing it, so that's good.
But no, but if you did that with like the original, almost the same animated style with the animated Lois Lane and the animated Wonder
Yeah,
Woman and
that literally,
Lex,
if I can just find this file, I can just like fill them all
see,
up here, where you got Jesse here,
or
like
with Alfred,
Gaz just there, and then like
do it.
Jeremy.
Yeah, just
It's
Alfred
like
at the
it'd
back,
be
just keeping an eye on all of them. That would be
exactly.
wicked.
It's like what
That
these
would be
little kids
so
doing.
good. That could work. There you go. That's a little project for you to continue it.
Yeah, hopefully one day I can like, where I don't feel as bad. I'm just okay. Let me revisit this one again.
Good. No, that's it. But I mean, yeah, it's finding. You can't always force creativity. Sometimes you've got to find inspiration to crack on with it. But how do you deal with writer's block or artist block, as it were, Rim?
Honestly, so before what I used to do is I just constantly draw until I'm not I don't feel like I've got artist block anymore. But recently I feel like it's best not to try and push through
Okay.
because then you're like forcing it and you're putting your own self. There's this lack of, not lack of like as in there's this more pressure where I'm not meeting the standard I'm normally at or whatever. And it's just like, no, I can't do that. It's just like if it's not happening, it's not happening.
Okay.
Like your brain said, look, yeah, we need to relax. We can
Yeah.
come back to this.
Good. I like that. I like that process of going back and like you have been doing this artwork here, going back and changing something and making little amendments as if the road to perfection in a way is never smooth. There's always something to change over. But this is what I love to see, like all these different layers that I mean that you add on. What's the most amount of layers that you'd ever worked with?
Oh, well, the most I've worked with is it's that Mortal Kombat piece that
Oh
from the photo manipulated one that I did.
yeah.
That had like 156 layers. I was like, oh, like never again. That's one of the reasons I've never went back to photo manipulation because that's way too many layers. But mostly I try and stick to like under 10 if possible.
Okay. Oh, what's been like the one thing that you've been really really happy with, and then some sort of technical issue has happened where you've lost the work. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah, quite a few times. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, oh,
Oh, oh.
that's so annoying. It's just you're like, oh man, I spent so long. It's gone.
Oh, but
But
you
before,
got
like before, it's like I used to get very annoyed with like, oh man. But recently, I'm just like, you know what? That's part of the process. Maybe that drawing wasn't working out. That's why it had to go. Just
that's
move
it.
on.
For the people that are now watching this on YouTube, you can just see me just slowly taking photographs and watching this artwork come come alive because I'm just loving this. And there's no really shading yet. There's no colors in there, but I can see Superman coming to life before my eyes. And man, I'm loving this.
Thank you.
Are those glasses? Love it.
It's that Clark, isn't it? It's like classic
Ah,
Clark glasses. You need them on.
so this could be the part of the podcast where I just go completely silent and just watch you do some doodles.
Nah, man, we don't want that. I'm pretty sure everyone doesn't want that. So
But it could work. I mean, I know you've done some artwork on your YouTube channel, and I'll add links to that in this podcast. But I've seen a few like time I forget the word it's called now, but
oh, time lapses.
that's the word, time lapse, where you see something just come to life before your eyes with some nice lo-fi hip hop in the background for good measure. But I could sit down and watch this for hours, Room. This is just some magical stuff. I can see the outline of that emblem there as well. And I mean, it's very impressive to see, Rim. And
Thank you.
I've seen again your artwork over the years. I can remember seeing some of your early Black Adam stuff when you had the concept of doing Black Adam and Superman together, and
Oh yeah.
I just knew that over the years, hopefully, we almost got it.
Yeah, I remember that one. Wait, was it the one where Henry and Dwayne shared that image, right? Were they in
Yes,
that meeting?
when
Oh yeah,
they were having that drink. I think they were drinking some of his early tequila. But it was like, look, this is Black Adam and Superman. This is
yeah.
way,
Imagine it's
way
like,
before they even talked about anything happening between the two of them. And I was like, it has to happen now. I've seen it. My head has put them two together, and it has to happen. And you
I'm
did. You
glad
did
it
some
did happen.
fantastic work. It did happen. It there was some
Oh, no, obviously it's not in the extended way we all wanted.
no, but we got that moment. I felt
Yeah, that it was a nice little golden moment where you're like, oh,
yeah.
imagine
If
what we could have been now.
and that's it. We got a glimpse of what it could be, and that is what is being a DC Comics and Superman fan is never an easy ride. But to get that little moment as such, and that moment when um you know I put that tweet out when he was talking about giving the fans what they want, and I shared that image of half the Man of Steel logo and half of
Oh
the
yeah,
Black
yeah,
Adam
yeah, yeah.
logo, and
Didn't he share that as well?
yeah, that's
That
the one that he
from
retweeted, and like my phone just blew up over the weekend, and I had to turn off notifications because it just wouldn't stop it wouldn't stop talking. But I give the man his dues. The Rock gives the fans what they want. What he does listen out, and it may not always work, but he does his best to give the audience what they want when it comes to movies. And
I got a
even that,
question for you.
ask
Sorry,
away, go
sorry
for
to
it.
interrupt. Actually, finish your thought. I'll ask my question after.
Well, no, yeah, just that we even though it was just for the end of Black Adam, we got that moment of Superman and Black Adam almost together at the same time, and you think, wow, where could this possibly go? And for a moment, he was the person that did manage to bring Henry Cavill back as Superman, even if it was just for a little bit. But
Yeah,
it was fun whilst the ride lasted. That's how I look at it.
yeah, same here, same here. So it was fun for but it's like, oh, and eventually, obviously, he would have had to been replaced. They'd obviously bring in a new Clark.
Yeah,
It's just how everything goes. But it was nice just for that one moment. You're like, oh my days, he's back.
yeah. It was a very exciting moment in that cinema room when I watched that for the first time. Everybody was cheering and hollering. I didn't hear what he said. I don't think anybody heard what the actual line that happened
That
because
was probably a YouTube clip, right?
it could
Afterwards.
have been. It was like the moment, yeah, like Endgame. It was that moment where everyone was just like, "It's finally happened." But I know that it did actually happen, and it wasn't a dream, Rym. It did actually happen. What was the question you had for me, buddy? What was it?
I was wanted to ask, like, so just like little S symbol, or do you like the bigger one, like Alex
Oh,
Ross style, or the more of a more casual,
oh,
smaller symbol?
let's make
What's
it
your
big.
preference on Superman's logo?
Go big or go home.
Very true.
Let's go it. But again, that's what I mean. That's what the now this is something. Whenever I've got a pen and a paper, I try doodling that Superman S. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's very, very mediocre, but it's one of my favorite things to see. And dude, seeing this come to life before my eyes, I keep on saying it is a privilege to watch. So this is with like one of those little digital pens, yeah?
Yeah, the tablet where it's not it's the tablet as in I can't see the screen and that my hand at the same time, which is kind of annoying at first, but I'm sort of used to by now.
Yeah, I've
But
seen
yes,
that way. So it's like having a mouse mat, isn't it, next to you?
yeah,
So you're looking at the screen and your hands just sort of off
trying
somewhere
to
else
figure
doing
out
something
where
else.
my eyes are looking.
See, that is impressive. But so with that, you can change the thickness of the nib, and you can do all sorts of other magical things, which is just
Yep.
great to see. And I can see that tie there. I can see his jacket in the background. It's a Clark Kent moment of him turning in to Superman, and
A job for Superman, right? Appearing.
yeah, that's
So
it, dude. James Gunn, if you are watching and you need some behind the scenes help for Superman Legacy, I'm sure Rym can find some time to
that would be like
accommodate.
some dream come true, man.
Yeah, I
Can
mean,
you imagine that?
I will be there to carry all your supplies, Rym. I will be your assistant. I would say that is the goal. When this gets finished, I will tag James Gunn in it. Oh, I love seeing that when you go between the layers and you see how it goes from like the original concept to
Okay, yeah, yeah.
see that sort of thing there. Oh, I love that. Oh,
Same, no, same here. It's like, especially when I finish a drawing, I'm just like, yo, this actually. So obviously, sometimes, majority of the time, not gonna lie, where I do prefer the sketch
mm,
like this. But over the years, I've come to a point where I'm just like, actually, I'm getting better with my lines where I do like where it progresses. Because sometimes with the sketch where you have all this little energy and like, there's sort of rawness to it that kind of gets lost when you're cleaning the lines up.
mm,
It's one of the reasons I like sketching, like making my lines look more sketchy now. Where before I'd like this would not be the final. You might have seen it in some of my YouTube videos I used to do before. I do want to do them again. It's just been a while, like finding the time to make the videos again.
yeah.
But hopefully I would be back soon. I keep saying that,
It's
but yeah,
one of
it's
those
just
things,
like
isn't it? When you want to try and get back into something, it's not always easy when real life sort of gets in the way of things. But as long as you find some time and you're enjoying what you're doing, you know you'll find more time for it. And I know that people will want to see you take on more projects like this. And again, even something as cutesy as it were, as making the rest of that league into that picture, people want to see that. And I know you as we talked about people making suggestions for you. I think that's something that would again push you out of your comfort zone. There was that trend on Instagram and Twitter where there was a sort of 8 boxes where you put artwork in each box.
oh yeah, this what's called the six fan out one, right? That's
That's
the one you're
it.
talking about, where
And you
people
did a
suggest.
few of those, and they were all just some really sort of you didn't shy away from the difficult suggestions. You went to some
Oh
that
yeah,
were like
there was a couple
quite
of characters
tricky.
who I've never drawn before. I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know
that's
who these
it.
characters are. But
So
plus, it's just like I've never drawn them, so I'm not comfortable drawing them. Like, am I drawing them right? You sort of get in your own head where you're like, is this looking right?
but this right now, this is looking right to me. This is looking perfect for me. So you mentioned earlier on Mortal Kombat. Let's talk about that film that came out a couple of years ago. The one that you were quite vocal in that you weren't a huge fan of.
Yeah. Okay. Like, if anyone look, yeah, you got quite a big following. So if anyone from Mortal Kombat is seeing this, I am so sorry. Hopefully you're not seeing this.
But you know this is your opinion and it's valid because you're a big Mortal Kombat fan and you've done some fantastic Mortal Kombat artwork over the years with some very solid fan theories as well. And yes, we've got the new game coming out soon because I can't wait to see what artwork you create for that because I'm sure you've got some ideas
Oh
in
yeah, I've
your
got a couple of
mind.
ideas, not gonna lie. Ever since that trailer, sorry for interrupting you, man.
No, no,
I
go
get a
for
bit too excited and a bit too nervous as well.
it.
Sometimes, like, is this
This
the
is
right time to
good.
say anything? Should I wait? Should I not? What's that? Sorry.
No, interrupt where you need to because I'm so impressed that you can create this artwork whilst talking about the things that make you excited. But what ideas have you got then that you could make for these? Because there's going to be lots more characters in this, not necessarily from the Mortal Kombat world, but from other franchises, which is very
Not gonna lie,
exciting.
I'm so surprised that they announced that, like, like Omni-Man, Homelander,
Oh,
like, they're rumors, but, or did it leak, right? Well, but something like that. But no one, like, they haven't debunked it, so it has to be
no.
true.
I mean, and if it's not true, I'm sure that because it's got so much excitement, they would probably highly
Rethink it,
consider
right?
add them to it because that would just be oh. But yeah, that film. Let's go back to that film. It had some good moments, but
Yep,
some not so much. What were your thoughts on
yep.
that film, Rym?
Overall, I was just like, the original premises of them going, this is before the tournament, is
Mm,
interesting. But then he went, started venturing into, like, I don't know, just, it didn't feel like they were embracing the source in a sense where they're trying to, I get it, you're trying to do your own thing, and I'm all for it. And you're trying to build the world before doing the tournament, so
yeah.
do that. But then they also started saying, "Oh, here's a little mini tournament because we need to do this," as in right near the end where each character now is going to get separated. And you're like, no, I don't think you needed to do that. You could have just had one if you wanted. Maybe do one-on-one fight, or for
Mm,
example, I've said this a few times. Like, maybe the movie could have started off with a different opening, as in, let's see the original tournament. This way you can have Goro
Oh, yeah.
and, like, the original Kung Lao. Like, you have that,
Mm,
you show that, oh, they lost originally. Like, this was their only hope, and now they're in danger. If they lose one last one, it's kind of, it's so bad. And plus, you get to see glimpses of outward this way, and then you can venture into your story. So this way, it's more about not a singular character.
yeah.
That's what annoyed me as well. Like, okay, I'm a huge Scorpion fan. Like, I love actually, honestly, I just love all the characters. I'm like one of those where I don't really have a favorite. I love all of them. So to have them introduce a new character for this, I was just like, yo, why are you wasting time on this new character?
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, it's nice to add new things to it, but you don't want that. You want the classics. You want to see the video game come to life, not necessarily the
exactly,
same way that it's been done before. It doesn't always work, but now we've got the CGI and we've got the sort of the access to computers that can make these characters more realistic.
yep,
We want to see those mortalities. We want to see the fatalities rather. We want to see everything just get very, very gory and very video games come to life. And yeah, I
yep.
don't think we really. There were some gory parts to the film, but it wasn't video game excitement sort of thing.
Like the trailer really showed everything. Like, obviously, the trailer did their job because they got
Yeah,
me super excited for that movie. I was just like, yo, this is it. This is the one.
yeah,
And then you see the movie and you're like, you wasted time on this OC character where
yeah,
it's like, come on, I'm not gonna go and watch a Superman movie and then you say, oh, here's an OC character. Oh, sorry, it's like watching a Superman or Iron Man movie, right? And then all of a sudden you got this OC character they're focusing on for 90% of the time or something. And you're like, why am I following this guy? Like
yeah.
the title, like look, I get the game introduces new characters, but you're not making the game. You're
No,
making a movie based on the game.
yeah.
So
We
can
want
I
to
just
we
get
want to
those
see the
characters?
game characters that we grew up with, not necessarily the DLC that you made available 10 years down the line. We want to see the original
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah, not the stuff that came out with the
And
most
plus,
recent
like, if they
Fortnite.
want to make their own original characters, yeah, okay, do that, but do that in a sequel or
Yeah,
some
there
other
you go.
movie, right? Or a spin-off where you've established everyone, so now people can like follow you wherever you go. And if you were to
Exactly.
introduce a new character, it'd be perfectly fine. Plus,
Mm.
so if you're going to introduce a new character and then not kill that character off, like,
Yeah, just don't,
come
don't kill him
on.
off. And if you're going to kill him off, keep him dead. Don't keep bringing him back.
Exactly.
That's an old
Like honestly,
trope.
I thought that was his entire role in the movie. I was honestly expecting that. Oh, they're gonna show you how dangerous this combat like tournament is.
Yeah,
You're gonna follow this character. You're gonna get to know him. Then you're gonna kill him off just so they set the stage for the next movie where anything can happen. But
which
not the way they went about it. I was like,
no,
oh, that's
they
disappointed me.
it always that's the thing with Hollywood. It doesn't always go the way that we want it to.
Plus, it was a bit too short. Like I think it was the whole mandate, right, where they had to go 2 hours or less because of
Yeah,
streaming.
yeah.
I guess it's because they started off. So I was like, probably would have done better if they had a longer time frame.
I mean, yeah, it was close to working, but yeah, it was. There were certainly more.
Exactly. Yes, that's the thing. It was close to working.
It was yeah. There was potential there for it to be fantastic, but they didn't. They didn't hit all the buttons needed. I don't feel Rym.
Yep, very true. Because honestly, like, I did enjoy that movie, but it's
Mm.
just the more I think about it, I'm just like, I don't like this.
And that's it.
But
I feel
initially,
if
I did enjoy it.
yeah, and that's if you really, really love a film, you can try and go back and look for the things that aren't so great. You can go a bit more of a sort of a devil's advocate situation. But when a film it has more bad moments than good, and you have to look for the good things in it, and it takes time to see the things that
Exactly,
make it shine,
exactly.
then you've not got almost a hit on your hands, as it were.
Yep.
So, but talk, yeah. So we've got that new Mortal Kombat film, the game coming out, which is exciting.
They
We've
are
got
making a sequel, so I'm looking forward to that. It's
yeah.
not like I'm gonna like swear off no more. So now I'm still gonna be excited for the next movie just to see where it goes.
See, you're giving it hope, as it were. That's what we like. Just like Superman, you are hopeful for the future. Respect the past and embrace the future, as I
Exactly,
always
exactly.
say. So that's good. Now I'm going to ask you, not probably a tricky question, but
Okay.
if you had to pick your top three favorite pieces of artwork that you have created over the years,
Ooh,
what would they be?
top three favorite. Oh, okay. I have to say the first DC fandom drawing. I love
Nice.
drawing that one.
Okay.
It was a huge thing, as in the sense because I've never drawn that many characters.
Hmm.
Like honestly, and it turned out to look so good. I was just like, I did that.
That's good.
Because
That's it. Be
it's like
proud.
sometimes I've got a short attention span where I'm like, I'll get bored of something and I'll move on. I'm
Hmm.
just like, no, but I stayed with it. I completed it. And I was like, wow, it's like it actually turned out pretty good. And like I tried doing as many like tried drawing as many of the announcements, with like Gotham Knights, Black Adam, the Batman, obviously.
Yeah.
That first teaser trailer they ended with. And I was like, oh, this is like 25% of the movie. What are we thinking?
But yeah, and I'll share some of that artwork when I go up when this goes out. But that was a phenomenal piece, and just the amount of time that I guess went into that one piece was how long did that take?
Honestly, I don't recall, but it did take me like quite a while. It was one of those pieces where I do some, then I'll move on, then I'll come back to it. Like, I took short breaks in between.
Yeah,
I guess that's probably one of the reasons why I liked it as well, where I didn't just go sit down and get this done. It was like, nah, breaks here and there. So came back with a fresher mind. Most probably that's probably why.
that's it. Take a step back every now and then and sort of look at it with a fresh pair of eyes to see what needs
Yep.
changing or what needs making better. I don't see how you can. I don't
No.
see
Actually, that
anything with
no,
your
no.
work that
I
needs
did.
improving.
I remember because we saw the first looks at James Gunn's Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah.
In that fandom, and I think we
Mm.
got to see Peter Capaldi's Tinkerer,
Yes.
and I still remember where I sketched it out in a way where it did not look like him. It looked terrible, but honestly, because I was working on it for so long, I didn't realize right until the end. I was like, "Yo, this does not look like it. How did you like fix this?" So obviously, because I took that little short break away from it, I got to see it with fresher eyes and like fix it out.
Good. And that's it. And that's the things, when you I mean, I could sometimes like even working on editing a podcast, there's just something about if you hear the same sentence over and over again that you're trying to edit or you're trying to cut down something in a review, you can almost get snow blindness in a way that you're looking at the same thing for such a long amount of time that it doesn't seem to be changing. Whereas if you,
Mm-hmm.
as you said, you take a step back, come back with a fresh pair of eyes after a good night's sleep or another cup of coffee, you think actually, if I move this here or move that there, a slight change can affect the bigger picture. And
Yep.
oh, and
Very
again,
true.
I just blinked and I've come back and I've seen that beautifully bold red cape has just appeared on the screen in front of me, and that I like the shade of that tie as well that I can see in the background.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to not make it as red as obviously you want the his suit red to stand
Yeah,
out more.
of course, classic white shirt as well. You know,
Can't go wrong with white shirt.
I'm not
Honestly,
I'm not sure how many buttons Superman goes through when he rips all these shirts off, but
hopefully they're Velcro.
see, there's a man with a plan. But seeing,
But
I mean,
honestly, how many would does he go through? Like
enough.
Mark Kent must be annoyed with where there's like, no, you're gonna learn how to put these back together yourself, all right, instead of wasting your money and buying more shirts.
So that little maneuver you just did there for colouring in that yellow. So that was just a separate layer, wasn't it?
No, actually, it's the same layer. What I'm doing is, I'm using let me get the name, the lasso tool, Lapis
Okay,
lasso tool, and I was just like making outlining the shape, then just like no, I'd go like right click, then fill in the color, so
right.
it does in one go. But sometimes here and there, I'll also go. No, I just want to like color it in like normally and just use the brush and start coloring it. Uh,
It's very clever.
so that you know, however, at the time I feel like, you're not thinking, but you just like, in the back of your mind, it's like, there's something going on.
That's it. There's something going on there. There's an idea that you have to get out. But I'm loving seeing this come alive. This is so very, very clever. So yeah, you talked
So
about that other one piece that you did for the fan dome. What other pieces of your work are you proud of, Rym?
the Guardian of the Galaxy piece. That was another one. This was I don't think not a lot of people have seen it. But it's like it's a drawing I really love doing because like I said, it's one of those pieces where I really pushed myself to do something
Good.
because it was like right after the movie.
Hmm.
I,
It was the first one, yeah?
and yeah, the first one is like
Yeah.
2014
Hmm.
when it came out. Yeah, so I did it then, and it was quite like I remember I had the image in my mind where I want the characters here, I want this Ronan at the top, I want these guys here, like Rocket over there in the corner,
Hmm.
Groot in this position, and John Liu, like I want his arrow in that way as well. And it just worked. Like by the end of the drawing, I was just like I said, it's like one of the moments where I did that. What? Even now, when I look back at it, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I do that at that time. I thought I was incapable of it.
Well, that's the thing when you go back and see those things that you've created before, you think, yeah, actually, you know, props to me. I made that happen.
Yep.
Oh, what's been the sort of the one piece of artwork that you've gone back to time and time again that you've never shared but you've never finished? Is there sort of your white whale Moby Dick moment, as it were, Rym?
There's actually, honestly, there's quite a few,
Okay.
and it's like it's mostly it's a few original drawings where I'm trying to work on some original characters,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it's always there at the back of my. Like over the years, because currently, I think last year I shared maybe four or like original character drawings or three, but it's like I have this idea of where I want to just draw all the characters in one go, or like some epic battle to give
Yeah.
everyone an idea of what could be going on. But it's like it's in my mind, but I just haven't been able to like manifest it onto a page or the drawing. It, it's like hopefully I will one day, but just haven't been able to yet.
Okay. You'll get there. I have no doubt that you will find that inspiration at some point where it happens. But and that's I've seen some artists online where there's certain apps where you can maybe you can do it with what you're using now, but people they start off with one image, then they'll just continuously zoom in, and
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
there'll
I've
be
seen. I
another.
don't know what that app is, honestly.
It's just incredible what people can make because yeah, they will zoom in and there'll be another piece of artwork, then they'll zoom in, and it will just be this like very trippy effect where there's all these artworks in one piece where you just keep on zooming in, and I that melts my brain. I don't know how people can create that. It's just so
Exactly, because
clever.
I'm like, wait, how did you think of doing that? Because it's more trippy when it's like a reflection. You're like,
Yes.
oh, this drawing reflected onto that drawing. You zoomed out. Oh, that's a reflection of another thing. And then you zoom out a bit more. Wait, how did you think of all that?
That's it, and that's that's how sort of how an idea becomes like a visual completed piece of artwork, and you think, well, how does your mind work? How does your imagination give you ideas like that? So this is why I love speaking with people like yourself from that are talented in a way that I just couldn't comprehend when you start off with just a completely blank canvas and then this classic Superman pose comes out, and you've only been doing this for what, like the time now is 8:30. What's this? About an hour you've been doing this? I could watch this all night. I
Oh,
could
well,
watch
thank you.
this all night.
Okay, okay, an hour, that's not bad. That's not bad. I've been like recently, I've been trying to like speed myself up more, where I'm just like, no, you gotta be faster, quicker, faster.
Just keep banging them out one after the other. Go, go, go. No time for
Exactly,
sleep.
exactly. No time for relaxation. Just get that drawing done now.
See, but oh, if this image somehow turns up in the promotional artwork for Superman Legacy and your artwork or logo isn't on the screen, there's gonna be an uproar. There's gonna be a revolution, Rym. I tell you what. Oh, and what's that little logo there?
I don't know. Does it not look familiar?
It does. Oh, you're a... He's got one of my pins on, dude.
Yeah, so why not? Isn't it? It's like, come on, your hero wearing your pin. That'd be amazing.
Oh, that is iconic. You just made me smile even more. And oh, I was like, it can't be my little pin, can it? Can't be my pin.
Hey,
Absolutely
who
love
who
that.
would suspect Clark Kent wearing a Superman related pin? That's not strange.
That's the ultimate hero worship moment for me, Rym. That is what that is. So for me, obviously, my hero clearly is Superman. Who are some of your heroes, Rym?
Honestly, like I said, it's like I barely have favorites. It's kind of hard to put favorites because it's like there's so many good characters.
Mm,
There's just so many, and everyone serves a sole purpose, or you see something where you like that character for certain reason. But if like I was in a spot where everyone was like, you have to pick a favorite, I would be. But obviously, that I do love Superman,
good
as
man.
everyone must have noticed. And I'm not saying this because I'm on your podcast or anything
Good.
like that.
Yeah,
That's not the reason
I'm not
I'm
going to end the
obviously.
Zoom meeting right now. I'm just going to kick you out. Said no, you're done. Interview over.
If I didn't say it right.
Yes, it.
Uh, no, but yeah, it's like obviously I like him. He's just what can you say really? He just is. It's just like
Mm,
chill guy who's just trying to do the right thing. He isn't looking for any favors or anything or whatever. It's just no, I'm just here to help out. Like
exactly.
you meet these kind of people sometimes, rarely, recently, but you're meeting these people in real life where they help you out. They won't ask for a favor or anything. Just no, relax, don't worry. Just I thought I could help you out. I could help you out.
Yeah,
So it's nice seeing that. So that's obviously everyone loves Superman, and his powers are amazing, obviously. But his because of his character, I would have to say obviously Green Lantern is one of my favorites. Of
nice.
like it's mostly because of obviously his powers are amazing, and as an artist, they're like there's the unlimited potential of just
Yeah,
what you're thinking can come to life, right? But it's also the fact that I just love the whole Green Lantern Rebirth
yeah,
from that to that Sinestro Corps War, Blackest Night, Brightest Day, then that New 52, Sinestro was back as a Green Lantern, and like what that entire run on Green Lantern was just so amazing. Where I'm just like, yo, this feels like Green Lantern has turned into a Power Ranger, which I
yep.
don't mind because as a kid, you love Power Rangers. Let's
Yes.
go. But what's they colliding right now? So this is before they have a crossover. They're having a crossover. It's like, why not?
There is so much potential out there for Green Lantern animated features, for Green Lantern movies. It's a shame
Yep,
that
yep,
we had the Ryan Reynolds attempt at a Green Lantern movie. There are some good points to that movie. Again, talking about the
yep.
balance
I
of the
agree.
good and the bad, but sadly, there
Yep.
for some there was more bad than good when it came to that film. Um, but
That movie's suit, I really love. I know, like you said, it's a good and a bad, right? Some people love it, some people don't. But me
yeah,
personally, I love that suit. Like, obviously, everyone dunks on it and saying, "Oh, it's a CGI." So even Ryan himself hates it. But I'm just like, no, it's a cool design, man. And plus, it's like recently, when you think about it, every suit is CGI now.
yeah, everything is. I mean, it's hard to sort of get something that is realistic, but
Yep,
also physical on camera. Everything is even down to sort of you see a lot of behind the scenes footage of Henry Cavill as Superman, and most of those times you won't see him with the cape on. It'll be just something that gets superimposed
that
later
keeps
on
on.
because
Yeah,
it's such a majestic cape and it is
yep,
so
yep.
stupidly heavy that they can't physically put it in a scene. But yeah, that's the thing now. But the costume in the Green Lantern movie was certainly something to look at.
Well, okay, no, nothing, nothing. Cool. Sorry. Yeah, that is 100%. Like, I still remember that first Entertainment Weekly cover, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's our first look at Green Lantern. And I was, yo, this is amazing. It's such a nice approach where you're taking the humanoid muscles underneath
Mm.
the skin as a sort of pattern for the suit. I'm like, that worked so well.
Yeah.
Like, wow. The artist who worked and designed it and went that way, I'm just like, they did an amazing job.
And that's it. I mean, we got these sort of the that's when Ryan Reynolds was, you know, coming out of his cage, as it were, as going from zany comedies and romantic comedies and stepping out into more action packed roles
Yep.
and you know, and from there we've had him as Daredevil, not Daredevil, Deadpool
Deadpool.
three times now, essentially, with the X-Men movie. You know, he's
Yep.
and we're going to get that third one soon as well. But
Oh, no, 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 I'm so excited for that third one, especially with them saying Hugh Jackman's back. Like,
they're
honestly,
saying,
I could have been okay with him not coming back, but I'm perfectly fine with him coming back.
yeah, I mean, the amount of banter they have on especially on Twitter, the two of them
Yep.
together, to have that in a film and to have them joking about the film and breaking that fourth wall at the same time, it's going to be very, very funny. And I
Can't
love
wait.
them
Can't
together.
wait.
I'm a big Hugh Jackman fan. I think he's a great guy. They both know how to sort of, you know, play the Hollywood system, as it were,
Yep.
but whilst having fun at the same time. So it's going to be, yeah, can't come out soon enough, that film.
Oh man, so especially you remember when was it recently or actually was it like last year when he dropped that little trailer Ryan Reynolds did where he's officially crossed over with the MCU
Yeah,
with Cole. I was
yeah.
like, yo, this is our first official crossover. This is mad.
And it was something as simple as that, that to somebody that doesn't know too much about the world of comics and crossing over, as it were, it would still build up a lot of excitement for the fans
Yep,
that are just fans of the movies that don't look into the mythos too much, that don't look into the comics to find out what all the references mean.
yep,
It's great that you get a lot of people sometimes in when talking about films and TV shows, they gatekeep. They don't want people not really liking the same characters, but they would say, well, you can't really like this because you haven't read issue 17 of this comic. So you don't know the backstory
yeah.
between these two villains. And it's just like,
That's just a terrible way.
yeah,
Like,
let
wow, man.
people enjoy it, sort of thing. But if they want to look more into the history and learn more about the characters, let them. Don't force it upon them. That's not cool.
Hmm.
Oh, see, the shading's coming on now, and I keep wanting to say more things, but I keep getting distracted by seeing more colors
Super
come to life
distracting you.
and seeing the shadows come out of it as well. I like how you do the reflection on his glasses as well.
Thank you. It's like it's you know it's just like trying to capture the anime vibe where
Yeah.
his glass is so shining on you know it's like
So I know, yeah, you are an speaking of anime, you are an anime fan as well, aren't you?
yes, I haven't been into it as much recently. It's just I'm so behind in a lot of stuff, but yes, I do love anime as well.
I mean, I've tried my youngest niece of Steel. She's a big anime fan, and
Okay, nice.
she's trying to get me into some of it, and some of it I'm the artwork is just incredible. Um, in my younger years, I did
Mm-hmm.
read the complete run of Battle Royale. Absolutely loved that.
Mm-hmm.
As a series, and the film was brutal. Second one wasn't a big of a
Not so
fan
much.
of that, but it was still entertaining. But what I'm hearing a lot of talk about is this one that's coming, I think, to Netflix. Is it One Punch?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Now I know that's got a strong fan following, and it's got a lot of die-hard fans as well.
Yeah. So you should check the manga out for that one because that some of the artwork, yeah, you're just like, yo, this is crazy.
It
Like
looks it looks good, and for Netflix to take on the challenge of bringing
that's just scary,
that
man.
to
I'm like,
life, it's risky. It is risky.
very. But also, I think aren't they also going for One Piece as well? I think they
Oh
released a
yes,
poster.
One Piece. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what they're bringing out, and it doesn't actually it doesn't always work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
That's the thing. I'm so afraid for One Piece. Not gonna lie, because I'm like you said, it doesn't always work out.
No,
That's with it being Netflix. I'm just like, yeah, I don't feel like this is. If it works out, it's probably not gonna survive one season. But a lot of fans are saying like what's his name? The original creator is on board with it. So there's a possibility it could work out. But I don't know. I'm
I mean, that's
very
the thing with live action. I'm just checking on the phone to look into it as to see how it works, but it's keeping it true to the story and to the fans. And
yeah,
it's like when you read a book and you fall in love with the book and its characters. And even though
yeah,
this book isn't necessarily manga or a comic, it is just written word. You have the visuals in your head of how these characters and locations and spaceships and buildings look. So when you see it for the first time, it needs to be spot on.
yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to lose that magic like straight away.
No, but that thing, I think a lot of people are also open to it looking differently than what they imagined, as long as it serves a purpose in a way. Like, as long as when you first see it and you're just like amazed by it, like,
Yeah,
wow, they've done that. Oh, okay, they've done it this way because their world has been set in that certain particular way. Like for Dune, for instance,
yeah.
that
Oh,
they literally built an entire world around like, yo, this is crazy. Like again, the books had so much, but then a lot of people have been discouraged by the fact that it looks very grey.
yeah.
But for the world he went for, it's very amazing. It's just like wow.
Yeah. I mean, and I love a film like that that can. It's so the visuals of it are such a huge part of the story that I mean, I've tried reading the original Dune book. It's mammoth. It is an absolute whopper of a book.
That scares me talking about that book. I'm just like, yo, there's so many pages.
It's so. What I read, I enjoyed, but this was before, way before even I started my new reading challenge and found a
Oh,
love for
okay.
reading again. So it is still on my list. If I do try and read it towards the end of the year, I will give it a go. I'm still
Hmm.
working my way through the Oppenheimer book because that
Oh,
film's going to
wow.
come out, and
Yeah,
that's
I think I've heard you mention that you're reading that book.
it's massive. I mean, I can't wait for the film. So it's the next Nolan big movie that's going to blow
Yeah.
people's minds. But June, especially after the first one, it was such a fantastic story, and I love a film like that where the visuals are so just intimidating. Movies like that, and movies like the Blade Runner remake and the new Tron. It's films like that that really just sort of grab your eye and give you so much to look at where you don't know what to look at. It
Tron
makes you
Legacy, right? That's the
yeah
one. Oh
yeah
my days,
when
that
you
was so good. I wish we got a sequel to that.
it's one of those films where yeah you would love a sequel because the visuals in it were just wonderful. And what was the other one? Oh, it's going to annoy me now. Right, back to Google because Google is the fixer of everything. But it was another visual film that we saw a little bit of, and there is talk now of a sequel. Alita, Battle Angel.
Ooh, yes.
Now, again, it didn't do too well in the cinema for some reason. I thought it was fantastic.
Same.
Um, but more and more talks are now happening about a potential sequel for that. So it's the thing with films and comics and stories and anything now is that anything has the potential to be rescued, as it were. Things that get cancelled can come back. So never say never is what I say.
Yeah. But thing is, also, it's also people need to like give it time.
Yeah,
You can't expect, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of the studios expect, oh, this has to happen, or otherwise it's a failure,
yeah.
right?
Straight,
But
instant,
like,
on to the next one, straight
no, it's
away.
like some of these stuff will become classic if you just let it time or give it the right audience. Maybe
Yeah.
I didn't reach the right audience.
But that's it. We as you said before, we are as a species of geek, as it were. We are very, very lucky with having a constant flow of superhero and sci-fi movies and comic-based movies. There was a time in our lives when it was one every 10 years or one every 5 years, and then it was quicker and quicker. And then the whole
Yeah,
Marvel train came out and it was thick and it was fast and everything was coming out. So yeah, we're lucky as a kid for me. I mean, I was happy to have like one or two superhero movies coming out, but now it's just absolute constant.
Very true. Like literally, you can't you literally look left and there's like five movies coming out or something. That's like what it feels like.
And I can see why some people might, get a bit of superhero fatigue, as it were, which is why we need new stories and new concepts and new characters, the way that we've had James Gunn come in over the last few years and mix up the Marvel system, as it were, with
But is
Guardians of
it
the
superhero
Galaxy.
fatigue though? That's the thing. Or is it just like they're not being entertained by what they're seeing?
I think that it could be that, or that they may have seen the same thing be done too many times before. Those
Yeah,
same
exactly. It's like,
those same storylines where we need something maybe a bit fresher and a bit
yeah,
more riskier visually and with good storytelling. And especially with the Marvel films, it was they had a system and it worked. There were
yeah.
jokes, there was action, and there was some story that was relative to the comics. And then James Gunn came along with the first Guardians movie, and I was like, wow, okay, this is he's making space look more exciting for one.
hmm
It's a lot more visual. We're getting different planets, we're getting different characters and aliens, and he mixed up the storytelling as well. So that's why I'm certainly interested to see what else he brings along to the world of DC Comics when he starts making
Oh,
more.
same here. Oh, especially after seeing Guardians 3, I'm just like, all right, I'm fully on board to see where you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go, like how you're gonna approach your DC universe.
yeah.
Because
So
part of me was like, I'm kind of regretting him going, like, as in, like, I want to really know what he was cooking
yeah.
with, like, that's the phrase, and what was he cooking with Marvel? Because he was supposed to lead cosmic side of Marvel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe Kevin Feige was looking to bring him on board as a co-lead. So I'm like, okay, what were they planning on doing then?
Yeah.
Because this is where Guardians 3 went, and now I'm like, okay, he's at DC. So does
If
he have plans for that?
I mean the way that he's so sort of he's very involved at a point where he's not looking for the next thing, he's looking for the next 10 things. I feel
Mm-hmm.
he's got an idea, but he wants to know how those ideas will spin off into other things, into other dimensions, as it were. Not, but I'm definitely keen to see where he takes Superman for one, especially because
Yeah.
he's my boy. But also how he's what I really enjoy seeing now is I'm not sure if it's his doing, but it's how he's helping promote comics now at the end of each trailer with all this.
Exactly. Same here. So it's not something we've seen much. You're like, these are
Not
the
at all.
stories that these it's fine. You need to be able to show them that maybe get people interested. So I think Green Lantern did that back in
There was a
2011
time
at the
back
end
at
of
the
the
time.
movie, right? At the end of the movie, you're like, this is the story that inspired us. So, but obviously that how we know how all that went.
Yeah,
So it's great seeing it, especially now in the trailers, because everyone's gonna look at the trailers.
I mean,
Like,
and it's working. There was when the trailer came out for the Blue Beetle, which I'm very excited for. I didn't know too much about the
that looks
character.
so nice.
I knew he appeared in Smallville once, many years ago, but I wanted
Yeah,
to know
it's
more.
kind of funny seeing the evolution of tech in general to see how we look like in Smallville
Yeah,
and how we look now.
how he looks
Like,
now is incredibly different. But seeing that moment at the end of the trailer, it was like, well, if you want to know more, read these comics, and I
yeah,
had to get them quick because that
get
happened,
yourself ready before the movie comes out.
and that's it. And it's made me want to feel more invested in the characters. But what's happened each time a trailer's come out is that those particular comics they've had to go into being reprinted because they've sold out everywhere, which is great because it means
Yeah,
that the comics are getting recognition. The artists and the writers that did the original work are still getting a lot of love because we know that these films make so much money for the movie companies, yet
literally like literal billions.
billions. And the creators, the artists, and the writers, they're not really seeing that money. It's nice to see their names in the credits. That's like saying thank you to whoever it may be. But then throw a bit more money their way.
Yeah,
They've created these stories.
like
We need
literally
to
your entire billion is like your new yacht or your new mansion or whatever
your
is
new
because
space, your
this
new
person
spaceship.
wrote
That's it. Your new
exactly.
Tesla rocket you're getting out of this is gonna. It should be pay it forward, as it were. But
Yep.
that's what I liked about that. And yes, they are doing that more. And I got other comics because of that, and I got all the recommended reading that was coming out after the Flash trailer happened. I went out and got those and read those, and it made me appreciate the film more. This
Ooh, nice.
At the time of recording, it is the 30th of May. This is going to be going out in a few weeks, but by the time that happens, the Flash movie will be out in cinemas, as will my review will be out in the open as well. But I can't stop thinking about that particular Flash movie, and I'm excited to see um, potentially some more artwork from you for the Flash, because once you've
Hopefully.
seen the film, I'm hoping you're going to create some more artwork.
Yeah, so man, so this is what let me bring it up. I've got it here. Let me get that layer of first in case it goes in fucking drawing. Like this recent one. It's mostly because of the trailer.
Yeah,
Like
look at
I'm
that.
loving what I'm seeing from the trailer. Plus the CW one recently finished the
Yes.
series, so I was really inspired by to do all three of them together.
Mm-hmm. But it
Plus,
works.
like the visuals of
Yeah.
how the Speed Force looks when he's running, like in
Mm-hmm.
the trailer, you see that one shot where everything starts speeding up, all
Yes.
goes yellow, and then he moves. I'm like, that is so creative. This is what I wanted to. It's like it's sort of reminiscent of like when you're on a train and you can see everything move by so quickly,
Yes.
but it's like that. And I was so glad that Marvel did that with Eternals as well, but they went differently where
Yeah,
as
they
she's
did.
running, that's happening. But he's doing it where he's distorting the time around him.
Around him, yeah.
I was like, yo, that is like, this is crazy.
Yeah, there are
Whichever person thought of that, thank you.
there's going to be some scenes that I'm going to want you to recreate and make your own. So I'm looking forward for you to see the film and for us
Can't
to
wait.
talk about it to see what you
Yeah.
can do as well. So it's going to be
That's
fun.
the thing. I don't want to put you in any position where put let's say you say something or whatever. Obviously, you're gonna release it afterwards, but
That's it.
I just don't
There's
want
no
to ask.
spoilers yet. I none of my there's no wow, that's the thing. I think in for some of my review there are going to have to be spoilers, but there will be lots of warnings beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving
And
this.
I'm just glad that everyone's loving it as well because it's like after so long, the Flash is getting his own movie. Obviously, it's more of a crossover of sorts because of the event and the book they're following. But
Yeah,
it's like he's
it's
finally
still
getting his view.
I would say the 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 amount of the story that I've seen without giving out too much.
Yep.
But
Mm-hmm.
as I said, by the time this comes out, my review embargo had been lifted. But the story is all about the Flash,
Oh,
and
that's nice to know.
everything else is a fantastic bonus. But it is majority about the Flash. Loving those clouds.
Thank you.
See at some point what you need to be sort of see. I'm giving you ideas now for it. I'm giving you
Go on.
more work.
No, it's fine. Go on.
Just by looking at that, I can see Force perspective, and I can see Metropolis at the bottom of all those clouds.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the coast. I can see the possibly the very minute detail of the outline of the Daily Planet building.
Like somewhere here, in that corner
Yes,
next to his hand, and then like you've got the little
I can see the coastline.
Yep, yep, exactly. That's
Oh,
the word, the coastline.
oh, loving that. And this is I'm just in awe of your talent, Rym. This is so, as I said, a privilege to see
Or
this. I'm enjoying hearing your thoughts on things, but seeing this come to life, even look at that! Just as you hit that button, and that's gone. Oh, you're killing me to see that literally come alive, and you
let
brought
me
it
try and do that
more to
again.
life. So what that you made it blurred, didn't you?
Yeah, I gave it a slight blur, but not
Oh,
exactly happy with it. But that's the look I'm going for.
and that's what that is what I like about the fact that you are seeing things here that you could possibly I don't see it, but you could see improvements there, and that is stunning. So before this, what's been your last piece of work before this one, Rym? What have you been working on?
The one I'm currently working on is like Guardians related. Like the
Okay.
Guardians, like one I was talking about is that it's sort of a recreation of that one. Like I'm
Okay.
redrawing that one because it's been quite a while, and also obviously like my drawing style, right? Like
Yes.
it was that style has changed over the years, and I've gone either very simpler or very detailed. And so I thought, let me try and redraw it. I loved the first movie, and I loved the second. I didn't love the second one. I'm not gonna lie. The second one I thought felt very weird. I've rewatched it and I appreciate it more, but the third one I love. And the way it's very emotional, very fun, very serious.
Yes.
It doesn't waste its time. It's like, no, we're telling you a story, we're taking you on a journey, and it does. So I thought, okay, let me, after we saw that drawing, I was like, should I try and redraw this? And I thought, okay, yeah, let's try and redraw it. And that's what I'm working on, trying to figure it out. I've got it. I would say the line work is done. Maybe it might need improving. I haven't looked at it for a while, but in general, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm liking where it's going so far, though.
Oh, you make sure that you slam your logo watermark over this, because, dude, I'm when I see the final product, it is. I want this printed. I want this. Oh, look at
I'll
that!
try,
See, something like that.
I'll try and get it done for you if you want to print it. Yeah, why
Because
not?
that's something I've seen that you have been doing more of that. You've been you made some prints available, but oh,
Yeah, like through like what's called imprint or T Public, right? Or
yeah.
Redbubble. I've tried doing that. So okay, maybe I can't afford it right now to have
But
all
that,
these little prints at my home, no space. But let me
oh.
do it to other sites.
But one day when you're a DC Comics / Marvel artist, this is going to be worth a
Okay, that's a
thousands.
bit too high, but okay, that
No,
would be a bit too.
dude, look. This is, and you will hear that feedback when this gets shared online. When you when the because when the podcast goes live in a couple of weeks, I'm sure you probably
Mhm.
would have maybe even gone back to this and made some amendments. But I'm going to tease it out over the next few weeks and show the process, and possibly even, as I said, make a little time lapse video of this coming to life. I could just put
Oh
this.
yeah, I'm recording this. Like I made sure I'm
See,
recording
look at
this.
him.
Like I
See,
don't
you
wanna.
know what you're doing.
Because no. That's the reason for that is because I remember that when I was on Kid Blast podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Brothers Geek Out, I didn't
Yes.
record that one, and I was so frustrated because I
Oh,
was like, why
mate.
did I not record that one? Plus, he probably had it, and if I asked him, he probably would have shared it. But
Yeah,
with me, I was just like, I don't want to like put, that's you don't want to like trouble someone else. That's what was going through my mind, and I thought, now I'm not gonna ask him. I'll just draw a new one.
that's very
So
noble of you, but I would
he
I
wouldn't
would
have minded, I'm
happily send
sure
you
of
the
it, but
footage of this if you didn't or if you weren't recording it already. But oh, this is I think it's because of the fact that I'm seeing it happen in real time and not just sort of, oh, this is what I've worked on today, this is what I've done. It's actually happening before my eyes, and it is quite overwhelming is not the word, but it is very no, it is the word. I'm overwhelmed with how talented you are. Because the concept in my mind of how this would take me years, and I know that you've been doing this 4 years, so I mean it goes to show. But whilst also talking at the same time, this is what is blowing my mind, and I've taken so many pictures of this process of this that
oh wow,
I
cool.
cannot wait. I'm going to share some once we finish
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
conversation tonight. But oh my goodness.
Sorry for taking so long. I tried being faster, but I'm just like,
Dude, don't apologize. You're making absolute artwork in front of my eyes. I feel privileged just to be here. And there's the skyline in the background as well that's happened as well. And
yeah,
it's slightly curved with the curvature of the earth. Oh,
yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you. Thank you.
see,
I
I
don't know. It's
can.
kind of weird. Someone says something. It's live. I've never been like. It's weird hearing people praising like live.
I know
Like
it sometimes. Yeah, not everyone can take compliments too well. I know that I can't. But
No, but the thing is though, like, I've seen you do it pretty well. You've done it for quite a few years, obviously. But whenever someone like comments or something nice, or even in general when they say something about your podcast and they're like, "You've been doing really good work," which you honestly you have been.
thank you.
It's like you handled it pretty well. You didn't like break down like I sort of am right now.
I don't want you breaking down. I want you to bloody finish it. Don't break down. Don't break down in tears yet, Rym.
Afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards, that's fine. You can have a little emotional breakdown afterwards. But it's everything from this how I saw that shirt start to take shape and that tie change color, and then to see
Hmm.
the colors start coming to life. Absolutely, it's I could see you honestly at a convention or somewhere just sitting down, interacting with like-minded people, coming to your table with a screen behind you and your little tablet in front, doing this and bringing artwork to life, because that is oh I'm getting lost. I should be speaking, but I don't want to speak. I feel like I'm going to miss stuff. I'm
No,
just
no,
looking at that.
keep speaking.
It's so good. So you've done that little part. I'm trying to point at the screen, which is pointless because you can't see where I'm pointing. But just where his knee is, you've got that. Is that the Daily Planet underneath, or is that just another building
Yeah, I'm
there?
trying to like give it some color so it stands out more.
It does stand out. Well, you can see that it's the ground below, which is amazing.
Like, trying to make it, trying to show the globe.
Oh, I
Very
can see.
iconic
No,
globe.
yep. See, it's Easter eggs like that that just make it more special.
I should try and fit Lex Cop somewhere, like, but
I was going to
like,
say, if you could, I didn't want to give you more work, but if you could just go ahead and just add the LexCorp building in there for me, and also the Hall of
somewhere.
Justice while you're at it, yeah.
Is that in Metropolis though? That's the thing.
I,
It
I, I,
is, right?
we can make it all in there if you want. You can put the Wayne Manor. Just throw it all in there,
Just
yeah.
just over there, right? It's like
Yeah,
there's
and
Wayne Manor over there.
you
Hey,
could
it's in some continuity. Like
that's fine, and you
Batman
can
versus Superman. It's just on
there,
the other side of the river.
that's fine. And there's room behind that knuckle to put the Stark building as well. Put the Stark Tower
Yeah,
in
why
there.
not? Why not?
Just add it all in there, man.
Crossover, let's go. This is like the granddaddy of all superheroes, like Henry
Just
Cavill.
make it
So why
happen.
not?
If that's James Gunn's plan, we can give him some ideas right now as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go here. Like you need that big L, like the ego on that man and his family. Like, yep,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna see the L. Take that
Oh,
L as well.
fantastic. Could be an L for Lex, could be an L for Luke. I'll take it no matter
Yeah.
what, buddy. Yeah.
Hey, it's right next to the logo as well, isn't it? Your
Look at
ego
that.
still thing.
See?
So
Oh,
like,
fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah, so we were talking about some of your favorite pieces. And what's been the one that's been, I'd say, the most stressful for you?
oh, the that DC fandom one that's been the most stressful, honestly.
Okay.
But also, I would have to say this one. Let me show. I've got it here as well. Yep, there it is. Because this one has taken me years to draw. It's been like I had a plan since 2017,
Okay.
and I finally drew it in 2020. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
2020.
I can remember that one though.
So I got a little like what's it called process up if you want to see on YouTube. Like I drew it all up in Procreate, but it's just like it's one of those ones where it's been in my mind. I just could never figure it out.
No.
Like
But look, and that's what you know, it's they say that comparison is the thief of joy. But if you were to put something up that you made like 10 years ago with what you've created in this conversation,
hmm
you I mean, I'm amazed with that Snyder Justice League poster. But you would
hmm
I'm sure you would be sort of in awe of yourself if you saw way how far you've come over the years because you don't
No, honestly, I am like for instance, like all that background work,
hmm,
I would not have been able to do that before 2020.
there
Like
you go.
it was very bad, and then all of a sudden in 2020, I'm doing all this little background stuff. Even like for instance, I'm having the idea of putting a mother box here, putting a mother box here,
Yeah.
just so it balances it out with this. And like the top one over there, I'm just like,
So
okay, I
yeah, sort of
thought of that.
not
That's amazing.
not having sort of wasted space, as it were, but putting something so you're looking all. That's what I keep seeing here. There's something each time you go back and look at it. There's something new to look at, or not something new to
Hmm.
spot. Oh
I wish I had the actual file on hand. I could show you the whole before and after, as in the sense where it turned black, the black suit version,
oh
or just the
yeah,
sketch, initial sketch that might be nice to see. But obviously,
yeah,
it's the recreation of the man, the Dan Jurgen
yes,
cover, right? It's that one. So, because it's like with the story the movie was going for, and then like the archetype roles you can sort of see in everyone. I thought, yeah, it's like if I put kid left, obviously Superboy and Flash, the roles they're playing, it's like very similar in the way
yes,
that
very
they're the new
similar.
kid on the block.
Oh,
Steel and Arthur, they've got like sort of similar roles, not exactly, but maybe it's just the weapons. Maybe I made that connection.
could
I'm
be,
not
could be.
remembering well. And obviously Cyborg Superman being and like Cyborg, like
Yeah,
the alien like the human that was sort of affected by the aliens and everything. So like they've also played these roles, so I thought it'd be nice to recreate that drawing
yeah.
with the movie. And luckily I did get the motivation to finish it before the movie came out, so that was pretty good.
It's meant to be. It's meant to be, Rim. Oh, I can't stop looking at that. It's when the part of the podcast starts going quiet again because
Everyone's
I'm
like, "What
getting
happened to Luke? Is he okay?"
yeah, I'm getting lost in the brush strokes each time. But what still is what is because almost picturing how you're doing this in your head again by seeing are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right.
So your hands going crazy with this tablet look, and it's not even you're not even looking at it. You're just looking at the screen,
Yeah. Which
and that
kind of, I'm obviously, like I said, I've said this before, right? Where it was kind of difficult to get to that stage, but because
mm,
the more you do it, the more I'm like, "Oh, I'm pretty used to it now."
oh, yeah, you need to. This one needs to get released as a print for sure because
Hopefully,
I'm
that's
having it on
nice
my
of you to
wall.
say.
All right. Oh
Wow, on the wall. Wow, okay.
no,
Like amongst all the wow, like
this
no, because you've got a pretty cool wall already, from what I can see, and I'm like, to have my stuff on there. Oh crap.
well here's my over the years I'm always collecting art. I love going to cons and getting prints. Most of them are safely stored away in sort of art folders or
Hmm.
poster tubes. And it's time that some of them got into frames again and on my wall. And this one,
Hmm.
especially, needs to go on my wall in a frame with your signature because
Oh wow. Oh,
this
thank you.
because when James Gunn sees this and shares it,
Oh wow.
it's going to be a big moment. I'm putting
Very
that
big
out there
moment.
into the universe. We're going to manifest this. You know, this is when people see this, they think of Superman Legacy. That's what I want people to think of.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's some big shoes.
Big boots to fill. Yeah, big
Yep.
Superman boots to fill.
Now let's stay with like big Clark Kent shoes to fill. It's more of a mind approach.
Like it. We're gonna have to do crypto next on the next podcast. When you come
Yes.
back on, you're gonna have to do a
Yep.
crypto one. What are some just another just to throw it out there? What other Superman villains would you like to see in the future?
I want to see Toyman and Mixo
Oh,
Pitty, right?
yeah, Mitchell Pitt.
That's
He's a lot of
that's
people
how you
say his
pronounce his
name.
name.
He's got
I never
different
know how
ways
to
of
pronounce
saying
his
it,
name.
and that's the thing. It's a certain word that a lot of people don't know how to say. Some say Mitchell Pitlick. Some say Mitchell Pitlick. Some say Mixie. I like Mixie because it's
Yeah,
easy.
Mix easy. I'll stick with that.
Mixie's easy, and he's a fantastic character. Emperor Joker is a fantastic story. It
Oh,
is a
that's the book I've always wanted to read. Oh, you just
dude.
reminded me. I remember seeing that in the public
Abs-
library, our library, and I was like,
it's
I want to read that.
It's a
Oh no, no, it
whopper.
was in the shop actually, and I never
Yeah,
got to the chance to read it.
it is a huge book. Probably could never be made into a film, but Mixie features in that a lot. There are some incredibly dark moments in a story which was meant to be quite silly and goofy and funny.
Hmm.
But Mixie, as a character who has this ability to manipulate people's realities, incredibly dark. So yeah, to see it's a great choice. First of all, Rym for to be in a Superman movie. I would love to see him. Who plays him? I don't know. It's such a difficult character to sort of
Yeah, it's such
visualize
a
in
difficult
a
character
live
to cast.
action.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
Mixie's,
like they go CG with him.
I think they'd
Might be
probably
easier.
have to. They'd probably have to,
Yeah.
which is a shame. I'm
But
sure there's
who's
somebody.
voicing? That's the thing, though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, some of the most classic Mixie voices have said they're voices that have passed away over the years, and when we see
Yeah,
these characters, we only sort of picture those voices bringing them to life, but
yeah.
it's a good character. But yeah, Emperor Joker. If you can find that one now, it's quite a tricky one to find. Fantastic read, huge read. That has made me want to pick it up again though, because it is a fantastic story.
One day I'll get to reading that because I remember seeing that Ed McGuinness cover where it was a card, right?
Yes,
It looked
it.
like a card, and I was like, "Yo, what's this? This is so interesting." Obviously, like my brain was like, "I want to draw that. I wish I could draw like that."
That's it. You know, I'm gonna stand up from a table. I can see it on my shelf because it's a thick book, and you're more than likely going to see my Superman board shorts. So I'm back, and there it is.
Ooh, that cover, man.
Flip
That's a
like
good
that.
cover. We should make a card set out of that if
I mean,
possible. I'm not
it
sure about
is.
the rest of the covers, but that one
It
cover
would
looks
work. I
amazing.
mean, and the artwork inside it is, I think that's a big. Is that a big belly burger? Yeah, big belly burger. Each and every page in this book is just it's straight out of a cartoon. It's classic. It's classic comic telling for me. Oh, see, this is what happens with my brain. I'll start talking about a book, and now I already want to feature a whole podcast about this story. But again, because it had that sort of classic up and down comic
Hmm.
variants for when it was released. So they could make a deck of cards that out of that. I would definitely
Exactly.
get it.
It's like, who wouldn't buy that one? That looks so good.
And of course, you can't have a Superman story without some classic Bizarro as well.
Yes, that's another character I want to see in live action movies.
Yeah, good
He
man.
needs some love.
You
As in,
know the
like, not
score.
just as a villain, but like, let's follow his arc, like,
Yeah, this
of him
he's
becoming a nicer person, or not nicer person, as in the world sort of finding out about him. Let's see that.
yeah he's a misunderstood hero. That's how I think
Yep,
of him as misunderstood hero. Oh, this is
very true, very true. Where is the
oh,
layer? Where am I going? Oh, there's it, there it is. The thing is that normally I'd rename all the layers, trying to keep it all in order, because otherwise you're spending so long trying to
yeah. I
find out
bet
which one is
you
which.
get a bit confused with it all. But no, it's just been an absolute privilege to see come alive. Oof. But that's the thing. You explained that with some of your other work is that it's never truly finished. Oh,
Yep.
and as I say that, I can see what you're doing there in the background, and suddenly a
Well, am I
smile.
true? I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, of course you don't. Of course you don't, Rym. Oh, and there's the smile on my face. I can feel it. Oh, and see, I've got no words. I'm all giggly again because I can see crypto coming to life.
I had to, man. You put that out there, and I'm just like, I should put him in here now. Like I said, it's like my brain, man. It's just like the minute I'm like, okay, cool, I got the idea. I forget this stuff.
You've got to do it, otherwise you're gonna yeah, it needs to happen or you're gonna forget about it. Oh,
It's
fantastic.
not even that. It's just like I have to get this done. I thought this piece won't be complete without it.
It's going to turn into a 3 hour podcast. I am completely okay with that. So now you've added that, you can add Pizarro next. You can add Beppo.
Now
You
he
can
needs
add.
his own piece. He needs his own piece. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
now we're talking. There's gonna be variant pieces of artwork for this, which will slowly predict the outcome of Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very happy now. Not like I wasn't happy enough before. You've just made it even more so.
Glad to know, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Wrong way
knew, I
come
knew you'd
on.
be, I knew you'd be worth the wait getting you on there. It was meant to be that finally you would come on and not only be a guest but also draw Superman for me.
Why not? Why not? Yeah, we've tried to get this done for a while, just hasn't happened. Yeah, I'm
No,
kind of glad it happened now.
yeah, but there was almost this chat didn't happen, but you
It's
pushed for it,
very close.
and I
I
was
was
like,
like, no,
I
I
was
have
like,
to get
I was
it
like,
done.
yeah,
It has to happen. It has to
you
happen
had
now.
work and other things will happen. I was like, dude, if you want to reschedule, we can reschedule. And I think your words were, as I've got it up on the screen here, no, don't need to reschedule. I'm all good. Blah blah blah. I don't want to reschedule just in case it gets a bit difficult. So you
Yeah, exactly.
struggled
It's like
through.
you never
You
know.
you got it
Had
done, and
to.
I'm so grateful because if you didn't, this wouldn't have happened because this artwork wasn't planned out. It was on the
Nope.
fly, as it were. Excuse the pun,
Yep.
and
Basically the
it's
same.
worked.
I don't know. Could we say this is fish? I could work on it more actually. Not
We'll
gonna
do
lie.
it well, for now because, like, for me, that is apps. I adore it. I know I'm going to adore it more when you change things and make it even more
Mm-hmm.
iconic.
Yep.
But when you do share this
Mm-hmm.
after the podcast goes out, so we can
Yep.
tease them with
After
it.
afterwards, like, have to wait for a while.
You just make sure that your artwork is stamped all over that. All right. Oh, right. Before I just sit here all night and just gaze upon you creating magic, where can people find you online, buddy?
Mostly, you can find me on Instagram, which is terrible right now. We all know it.
Yeah,
Twitter, what else? YouTube. I'm trying to get the process videos out again,
good man.
and I do sort of like people probably notice that I sort of go on a rant, weird rant, that end up talking over people. Sorry for that. Sorry, Luke, for talking over you several times.
It's all right.
But you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and yeah,
I
those.
think
I
this will
think you
be
can also find me on Tumblr as well. I think Facebook, yes, but I don't really use it as much. If anything I do share on Facebook, it's just that through Instagram. I just go
yeah.
share on Instagram with that Facebook.
And I mean,
Yeah.
it's where I see most of your work get shared about is on the Twitter. That's where I think I first saw
Yep.
your work and fell in love with it. So when this one goes out, I've taken a few pictures that I'm going to have to tease in a moment because I'm just
Yeah, it's
itching
fine.
to
It's
share
fine.
them because it is to see where it started, and I'm going to put
Hmm.
like a before and an after. It was absolutely brilliant. So, oh, this chat was well worth the wait. Rym, thank you not only for being a guest today and talking whilst creating literally art for me, but thank you for creating art. Art for me is something that I can get lost in. It can make people smile. It can make people think. It can make people nostalgic and hopeful for the future. And seeing
Yep.
this, this is what I want maybe Superman Legacy to be like. And who knows? It could be something
Just
completely
in
different.
case that people need to find it,
Just
here's
in
the
case, that's
name.
it. You
I'll
chuck it
probably
on
fix it
there.
up later on, but sorry for interrupting you again. You see,
No,
I'll keep interrupting people. So sorry.
this is good, but you've done what you said you would do, and you would put the logo on there. But the fact I'm still smiling that he's wearing my pin, I can't wait to say that.
I have to,
Can't
man.
wait.
If you're pin out that, it'd be amazing. Like no one's gonna suspect Clark like if he wears a pin, right?
That's it. They
Superman
won't think. They won't
ability
think that
pin.
he's.
But, yeah, I'm a fan. He's a fan of Luke. He's a fan of Superman.
I love it. But no, seriously, thank you for all that you do. I hope you continue making art like this and being passionate about projects when we see artwork or concept artwork out, you
Mm-hmm.
jump on the computer straight away and you bring your thoughts to life because they are incredible. So, Rym, thank you so much for being a
Thank you.
very special guest on the podcast. All your links will be down below, and probably by then you would have changed this quite a fair bit. And there will be a
Hopefully.
video on your YouTube page where people can see, like I saw, this artwork come to life. So, thank you so much,
Thank you for
buddy.
inviting me, man. It's like it was great, like being on it, talking to you, like getting to just like spend some time talking to you. I like it to like drawing as well. Plus, like I haven't drawn Superman in a while, so it's nice to actually get to draw him.
Good.
So
I'm glad. Well,
like,
guess what?
I've been trying to avoid Superman. Like I'm like I draw too much Superman. I should
No,
avoid him. But like, I was trying to avoid
excuse
him a
me.
bit.
There is no such thing as too much Superman, young man, because
Sorry, I
next,
forgot whose podcast I was on.
yes,
Sorry. My bad.
there's still time to sort of replace you with somebody else. It's fine.
No, 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 no,
The
no.
next,
Bizarre version of me, bro.
the next time you're on, because you will be on next
Mm-hmm.
time. We can
Yep.
talk about Flash and we can talk about other films that have come out.
Yep.
I think a Bizarro recreation needs to get done of some sort.
100%.
Good
100%.
boy, love it. Right, Rym. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for creating the artwork. Thank you for being a guest, and I will speak to you soon,
Thank
sir.
you for having me, man. It was a nice time. Thank you.
Take care, pal.